My name is Hannah, and this is my story. I'm a writer. It's been a few years since I've written a book. Complete writer's block. I liked writing about my paranormal findings, but added a little fiction for the suspense, although all of that was about to change.
Well, Mrs. Williams, this house is for very cheap. It is a fixer-upper. Will you take it?
Yes, you've got yourself a deal. It took a few weeks before Tom and I moved in. You know that realtor? We've been seeing each other for 6 months now. He was always flirty with me, and I fell in love. He was such a nice guy, and he made me laugh. As soon as we walked into the house, I felt a strong energy. Chills ran all over me. We didn't bring anything but keepsakes and clothes. This house was so gorgeous. 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, an attic and basement. I loved it. It needed a lot of work, though, but for some reason that attracted me even more to this house. Tom and I were fooling around in bed when we both heard a strange noise from the hall. I climbed out of bed and decided to peek out the door and see what was there. I was on my way back to bed when I swore I heard a very quiet voice coming from down the hall. I walked to the bathroom before going back to bed. It was around 3 o'clock in the morning and I could barely see. I was washing my hands in the sink when I looked up into the mirror and saw a girl there that wasn't me. I splashed water on my face and looked again. This time I saw myself, so I chalked it up to being tired and went back to bed. I walked downhill towards the forest. I walked through the trees and found a little creek. This had a walking path on both sides. I chose to go left. Everything was beautiful. Autumn leaves swam in the little creek. This is when I found a hill about 15 feet high. I climbed the hill, and on the other side was a lake. It was already 5 o'clock. I couldn't believe how fast the day has gone by. Dinner was ready just as Tom came home. I ran up to him. Hi, baby. How was your day?
Oh, it was okay. I might have 2 buyers.
Oh, well, with your commission, that'll be great.
So, how was your day?
Oh, it was exciting. I took a long walk down that path out back. We have a lake about 2/3 of a mile away.
Oh, wow, that is great. Maybe we can save up for a boat.
Tom and I sat in the living room watching TV when all heard a loud crash. I jumped up and ran upstairs, thinking something fell over and broke. I stopped dead in my tracks as I saw what appeared to be a girl floating down the hall. I rubbed my eyes and looked again, and she was gone. I ran downstairs screaming to Tom, telling him what I just saw.
Oh, honey, you're just tired. Get some sleep and you'll feel better.
Maybe he's right. I have been outside all day. Tom and I both went to bed. I woke in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. I was terrified by what I saw. The hallway was completely decayed. I heard whispers down the hall. I followed the sound to one of the bedrooms. A little girl sat there playing with a toy. I was terrified. Hello? She immediately ran towards the wall and disappeared. Am I hallucinating? How can this be real? My paranormal findings from the past were simple things. Objects moving, windows flying open with curtains blowing, small noises, things like that. But I have never actually seen a ghost before. I was terrified and intrigued at the same time. I waited about 10 minutes, but nothing else happened. I climbed back into bed. I had trouble falling asleep. I was filled with anxiety. Tom would never believe this, so I kept it to myself. The sun was shining brightly in my room. The hallway was normal and the bedroom's empty. That was probably just a nightmare. I logged into my computer and began to research this house. I needed to know what happened here. I searched for hours. The room went completely dark. Thunder began to roar, lightning flashing in beams right in front of my house. I saw a little girl killing a baby doll as it bled. The doll was bleeding. I screamed at the top of my lungs, but as I ran towards the top of the stairs, I saw an older girl staring at me intensely with a look of pure evil on her face. I ran past her, the lightning lighting up images of blood and broken windows. I locked my bedroom door. I looked on my bed. Tom looked really sick. I tried to wake him up, but he just grumbled. Oh my God, what is wrong with Tom? I called 911. They dragged him down the stairs and onto a stretcher. I was crying so hard, worrying about him. Oh God, please let him be all right. I will die without him. I sat next to him in the ambulance. His face looked very clammy and pale. His eyes had dark circles under them. I was scared shitless at everything going on. This was so hard to process. We got to the hospital and they rushed him into ICU. They told me I had to sit in the waiting room. I sat there for what seemed like hours before the doctor came out.
Mrs. Williams,
Yes?
I'm afraid I have some bad news.
My heart was pounding out of my chest. My eyes began to water.
Your fiancé has a very serious case of pneumonia. His chances of survival are 30%.
I broke down and cried. What can I do to help?
He still has a small chance of surviving, but he can't go back home, I'm afraid. He needs to stay here for a few more weeks.
I packed our things and demanded Tom be let out so we can go to another hospital. They made me sign a waiver, then they let him go. As soon as we were out of that neighborhood, Tom's health was 100% better. We never looked back.